Hi there, everyone in Quest. Cheryl has asked me to say a couple things to mark my dad's farewell to Quest. So, first of all, let me say that I don't think I'd be where I am today without Quest. I wouldn't. I don't know where I'd be, but I wouldn't be in the same place at all. I met my wife in Quest. My formative Christian years were in Quest, and I actually don't know where I'd be if I didn't have that influence of Quest in my life. So if I wouldn't be where I am without Quest, Quest wouldn't be what it is without my dad. He's been there for I think about 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken, and I remember that Quest was going well when Dad picked it up, but it came alive, so to speak, when he finally did it. But I'm not really here to talk about Quest so much as I am to talk about him. And I think that I've got a different vantage point on him than most of you do in Quest, because most of you see him in one context as Pastor Glenn, and of course I saw him in a totally different context. I didn't see him mostly as a pastor, but mostly as my dad first. And before he was my young adult pastor in Quest, he was my youth pastor at other churches, and so I had him for a long time as both roles, and it was really kind of interesting to see him in the two contexts, because seeing him in those two contexts, I was able to see how faithful he was. There's a story of a pastor who is just extremely passionate and exuberant and preaches very well. And one of the people in the church leans over to his wife and says, "Well, how you're so lucky to be able to live with this man, to be his wife." And the woman said, "Well, that's not the man that I come home with every evening. That's your pastor." And one thing that I love about my dad is that the guy you see in the pulpit is the guy that my mom goes home with every night. He's the same. He's maybe a little quieter at home, but not much. He's just about the same person everywhere you go, and that's probably, I think, what has influenced me the most about my dad as a pastor and as my father is he's just honest. He's just really, really honest. He's the most sincere person I've ever met, and strangely, most Christians are even less sincere than non-Christians, and my dad is sincere all the way across the board. He is what he says. He is passionate about what he preaches, and he lives what he preaches. And he'd be the first to admit that he's not perfect, but he's sincere, and he is fully sincere. And I wouldn't be that impressed with it if it happened more often, but it doesn't happen very often to find someone as real as my dad is. For better or for worse, he is Pastor Glenn, and he is my dad, and he is the same everywhere he goes. There's not a false bone in his body, and I love him for that. So if you don't know him yet, get to know him before he leaves. If you do know him, then you know what you'll be missing. Love you, Dad. Bye.